Hello and welcome to Let's Play Dark Envoy Director's Cut with me, Bregaton. Dark Envoy is developed and published by Event Horizon, the same developer that brought us Tower of Time, and released on October 24th, 2023. It is a real-time tactical CRPG with a steampunk setting. And without further ado, let's jump into a new game. Malachi and Kayla. Was not expecting a character creator, so I'll throw in an edit and customize my character and see you guys in just a second. And welcome back. Now we get to select our class for Malachi. So we have the warrior archetype with 3 specializations unlocked at level 7. So first is the Guardian, the shield against the tides. Able to go headfirst into the enemy lines, the Guardian can keep enemies occupied while shielding their allies from danger using numerous defensive buffs. The Assassin, an elusive Shadow Master who's prepared to devastate their mark with a single strike. Using deception and tricks, they cause confusion among their foes and avoid punishment. The Blade Master, a bloodthirsty dual wielder that's capable of applying multiple stacks of bleeding, using them to kill enemies quickly or treat their own wounds. Our starting skills are Iron Skin and Dash. So for Dash, charge in the target direction, dealing 40 damage and inflicting Shaken for 20 seconds on all enemies in your path. At destination, taunt 4 seconds all enemies in a 2-meter radius. And status synergy, Shaken, deals additional 40 damage and inflicts knockdown for 3 seconds on enemies with Shaken. In Iron Skin, gain 100 magic shield and 30 armor for 15 seconds. You see our stat growth here. The diamond is the resource for our abilities. I'm not sure what this is. At the Ranger, we'll unlock Gunslinger. Quick on their feet and even quicker with their gun. The Gunslinger is a nimble and hard to pinpoint damage dealer who can move and shoot at the same time. The Bounty Hunter, a meticulous mercenary who attacks their prey when least expected. Through a wide range of traps, the Bounty Hunter controls the battlefield and limits their opponent's capabilities. The Sharpshooter, a ranged attacker who gains power from good positioning. The Sharpshooter can kill primary targets from afar without being noticed. And starting skills are Toxic Bomb and Blast Roll. Toxic Bomb, there's a Toxic Bomb at the target area dealing 30 damage and inflicting Confused for 20 seconds on all enemies at a 3-meter radius. Creates a surface that lasts for 5 seconds, inflicting poison for 5 seconds. Status Energy Confused. Deals additional 30 damage and inflicts Berserk for 3 seconds on enemies with Confused. And Blast Roll. Roll in a chosen direction, leaving behind a Toxic Bomb that explodes after 1 second, dealing 20 poison and 20 fire damage, and inflicting Vulnerable for 20 seconds on enemies within 3 meters. Status Energy, Vulnerable. Deals additional 20 poison and 20 fire damage, and inflicts poison for 10 seconds and burn for 10 seconds on enemies with Vulnerable. The Engineer. Technomancer. A living conduit who is able to channel electrifying magic and communicate with machines. What if that comes up in the game itself? Like if we come across machines and only the Technomancer class can talk to it. The Technomancer hits enemies with a staggering performance that leaves everyone stunned. Inquisitor. Strict and cold individual who strikes fear even in the most battle-hardened soldiers. The Inquisitor can drain enemies of their power and use it against them. Constructor. Genius inventor able to field both miraculous and lethal machinery. The Constructor fights from the backline, sending a multitude of constructs against the enemy. And starting skills are Shocking Ground and Shock Bolt. Shocking Ground generates an electric surface and a 12-meter drawn path that lasts for 6 seconds. Inflicts Charged for 10 seconds, stun for 2 seconds on entry, and deals 14 damage per second. And the Adept. Elementalist. Traditional mage who manages a perfect balance between all 4 elements. Using their combined power, the Elementalist can devastate enemy formations with plenty of area effects. Combat Medic. Sorcerer that harnesses the powers of both life and death. Their mere presence can encourage and grant vitality, allowing allies to reject their own limitations. And Summoner. Druidic adept who uses their bond with spirits to summon them onto the battlefield. As a last resort, they can become a living vessel, turning their body into a mighty colossus. The starting skills are Ice Bolts and Mana Shell. Ice Bolts. Cast 3 Ice Bolts at enemies and a cone, each dealing 30 damage and inflicting Frostbite 50%, and vulnerable for 20 seconds. Status Energy, Frostbite. The target already has Frostbite, inflicts freeze for 4 seconds instead. And Mana Shell. Protects the caster with a barrier that grants 80 magic shield and lasts for 20 seconds or until destroyed. When destroyed, the barrier explodes, pushing away all enemies within 2 meters with weak force and inflicting knockdown for 3 seconds. So normally, I would default to the warrior class. But based on his aesthetic, I think one of the engineer classes makes more sense. Plus he has this artificial arm. I'm thinking the Technomancer. Plus we will get more companions. And I'm assuming we'll probably get a Guardian, possibly a Combat Medic. So yeah, let's go with the Engineer for Malachi. Alright, so attributes. So Might affects critical chance, weapon damage, and weight capacity. Down the line we get more upgrades. Then speed, attack speed, and cooldown reduction. Endurance, max health, tenacity, and weight capacity. Power, max mana, and skill power. And mastery, health regen, and mana regen. The final DPS, we have skill power. Whole bunch of stats. Weapon damage, modifies damage dealt by weapon attacks. Attack speed, modifies weapon attack speed. Critical chance, chance to deal a critical strike with weapon attacks. Critical damage, modifies damage dealt by critical strikes. Max health, current max health points lowered by wounded HP. Armor, mitigates received damage. Magic shield, additional hit points that always regenerate after combat. Okay, I assumed it was just, it blocked just magic damage, but it looks like it's actual generic HP. Cooldown reduction, reduces cooldowns of all skills. Mana cost, modifies mana cost of all skills. Then stats, we have damage mitigation, armor penetration. Enemy armor ignored by your weapon attacks and skills. Resistance penetration. Value of enemy resistances ignored by weapon attacks and skills. Lifesteal. Restores hit points equal to percent of damage dealt with weapon attacks. Cleave damage. Deals percent of melee weapon attacks damage to other nearby enemies. Block chance. Chance to ignore damage from enemy weapon attacks. Dodge chance. Chance to ignore enemy weapon attacks. Tenacity. Lowers duration of received negative statuses. Summon points. Summon units limit. Movement speed. Modifies movement speed in combat. And weight capacity, so that's what that is. Maximum equipment weight. Max health, we've seen that. And max mana, maximum mana points. So as a Technomancer, I think we want more skill power. Maybe something like that. So we have cooldown reduction, we've got health and mana regen, and also skill power. Yeah, we'll stick with this. So we get the Imperial Rifle, basic leather gloves, and basic leather boots. Alright, I'll customize Kayla off camera, and be right back. And welcome back. I think for Kayla, I'm going to go with the Adept, and probably go Summoner down the line. We'll give her some more speed. More power, of course. More mastery. I don't like starting without a tank. We'll be okay. So we start with a staff, elven silk gloves, and an elven ring. This is 5% mana. This gives us 0.2 mana regen per second and 3 max mana. This gives us 10% skill power. This is more mana regen. Wish I could pick and choose out of all these, because I like to have this and the staff. That's alright, we'll start with this. Alright, let's rock and roll. We'll play on hard. Formidable challenge for the most hardened RPG veterans. And it can be changed later, so we'll be alright regardless. Somewhere in the desert. We emerge from the familiar nothingness in order to make this foreign place our new home. It belongs...
Jarn was a habitable planet, orbiting the G-type dwarf star, with billions of years of stable fusion ahead. Located in the outer reaches, it was shielded from the galactic center and its energy jets. However, hidden from plain sight, an anomaly of the very essence of the universe lingered just above Jarn. Precisely at a point where tidal forces of the planet and its moon averaged out. A super-dense speck of exotic matter marked the fluctuation in space-time geometry. Was it a feature or a bug of this mana-powered world? The same natural selection that created proud and often quite brutal individuals on Jarn imprinted their mark on far deadlier ecosystems, billions of light years away. A monster civilization that transformed themselves into post-biological, energy-based entities, feeding themselves on the energy of the whole galaxy. They consumed every creature, planet, star, black hole, and individual molecule. Then they feasted on a supermassive quasar, located in the center of this now devoured galaxy. Even the most advanced species had no chance in a clash with such an enemy. But like everything in the universe, those creatures had been bound by strict limitations of physics, distance, and time. Jarn remained safely out of their reach. So far, at least. Our two unlikely heroes, adventurous relic hunters, remained blatantly ignorant of all those facts. Their home, a settlement known only as the City of Bones, sat safely in the desert region of this planet, surrounded by nothing but sand, ruins, and artifacts, left by the mysterious ancients. That harmony was not to last, as dark evil forces had already been put into motion, and war raged over the horizon.
Chapter 1.
The damn scorching breath of the desert. Ugh, it even smells like death.
For years, this place was completely deserted, and now this.
Now I know why the captain sent us here.
Well, at least we know this guy won't be causing us any problems.
Let's get going, but stay alert. Something feels way off here.
Real quick. There's a setting I turned off. I didn't realize it was going to be voice acting, so I didn't want the dialogue to move too fast. A statue of the ancients, one of the many remnants of their mysterious disappearance.
Sure.
Oh yeah? Let's get going.
There we go, nothing to it. So HP bar. All changes to a character's HP health points are represented on its HP bar. The gray part of an HP bar is a magic shield. A fraction of all damage that exceeds your magic shield is converted into wounded HP. The red part of an HP bar is wounded HP. It doesn't regenerate and can't be restored using skills. I'm not going to read all of this. Like the camera movement one, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Statuses. Many skills and effects inflict statuses. A status inflicted on your character is marked by an icon near their portrait. Hover over the icon to learn more about it. All statuses are described in the Codex tab of the player menu. Good. Elemental statuses. Elemental statuses are paired into opposites. Frostbite, Burn, and Poison charged. If opposite elemental statuses are inflicted, they cancel one another. Also good to know. Detection range. All enemies out of combat have a detection range. When you move into it, you get spotted and combat starts. Combat basics. Yeah, we just figured all that out. Tactical mode. When combat begins, the tactical mode automatically turns on. It slows time, allowing you to better appraise your situation and issue orders. You can press the spacebar to turn it on or off. Tab key switches between slow motion and pause. Enemy information. Click on an enemy to lock their pop-up in the upper left corner of the screen. Hover over the effect icons displayed on it to learn more. We have stances down here too. It doesn't look like I can rotate the camera.
Those things are so damn convenient. I just wish they worked for longer distances as well.
Alright, interact with waypoints to quickly return to previously explored locations. A quicksand. Click slowed when stepped on. Won't step on it.
Time for plan B.
Yes?
Oh, had the wrong person selected. Thinking those charge attacks. Should probably have her up front because she has the mana show.
Moving fast. plan B? Ow. Nothing's fun without risk.
That's alright. Still came out on top. Combat's really fun so far. Alright, so we got a chest plate. Weight 7, damage to wounded health. I assume that's what that says. Minus 15%. Some iron and 6 gold. Alright, so it doesn't look like anybody can wear anything. And I'll make her into more of the tank right now since she does have the mana shell.
Sure. Sounds interesting.
Ruby Lasher. Exploding Cactus. Explodes when damaged, dealing damage and inflicting bleed on nearby units. Regrows after a short delay.
Gotcha.
Oh, we have cover. A tactical environment. Explosive cacti are a type of tactical environment. Hover over them to learn more. Keep an eye out for objects and areas you can use to gain advantage in combat. Tactical environments are highlighted in tactical mode.
What's the plan?
I'm gonna get closer to this so we could use it, but no dice.
Oh yeah. Seriously? More?
Oh, loot. Aggression Ring. It's weapon damage plus 5%, critical damage plus 15%, and 2 gold. Items and equipment. All items you gain are stored in the equipment tab of the player menu. Press I to open it. To equip an item, double click it or drag it onto your character. This cooldown seemed pretty long, so he's relying on his gun quite a bit. Here we go, cover. Units in cover receive 50% less damage from ranged attacks. Covers may break after blocking too many strikes. Units don't benefit from cover if they're engaged with melee combatants.
Sure. On my way.
A Stinger and a Hunter again.
What do you propose?
Yes. You in trouble yet? If this isn't one of those trusty old, or dare I say, ancient healing fountains.
Healing Fountain. Healing Fountains are the only means of restoring wounded HP. Each fountain can be used a limited number of times, as indicated by the green bars. But 1, 2, 3, 4?
Sure,
Let's not use it
why
yet
not?
then. Well, let's go ahead.
Sure.
Cover me. Here I come. Time for plan B.
Oh, you have to keep running forward, buddy. The attack right there.
Yes.
Yep, that's me.
I got some loot up this way, it looks like. And a scavenger's note. More importantly, a spear. A two-handed polearm and magic. Critical chance plus 10%. My scavenger's note. A handwritten note with a poorly drawn portrait attached to it. Beware of this guy. He is a liar. Promised good deals, gave us some counterfeit crap. Don't do business with him. Sadly, the portrait barely resembles a human to begin with. A reference to, oh man. I don't remember his name.
Gotcha.
Darn, I'm drawing a blank.
Just a little walk.
There's a ancient note complaining about a guy selling bad copper, I believe.
Sure.
Thoroughly plundered. And 4 iron.
Let's get going.
Really feels like I should be able to rotate the camera.
Careful. Enemies up ahead.
That's one down.
Right away.
Let's go after this guy.
I'm listening.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing because they see him first. Another healing fountain. We don't really need it, but sure.
Sure, why not? More. Yes.
What's the plan?
A buckler. Also magic. Critical chance plus 2% and 6 gold.
Aren't those Empire tents? What are they doing here?
Huh. Well, they're not camping, that's for sure.
Thank you for...
Are being attacked from behind. A protection amulet. A max health plus 28 and max mana plus 10. A soul core and 12 gold.
League reinforcements.
What? No.
A marine. A rifleman. I didn't see what the first guy was. Probably a rifleman as well. I don't know if we're supposed to win this fight. Guys, 500 and... I think 1 health? Is that what it was?
All right.
Either way,
Go with the hard
we're a little ill-prepared for this.
Watch my back. 'Cause I got 'em. 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 'Cause I got 'em.
Now revive. To revive a fallen character, click it with the right mouse button. Vaso. A new companion has joined your party. A kind soul who used to hold the position of the first blade in the League's army. Vaso is full of contradictions. Stories about her former glory describe a woman of ruthless determination and blazing conviction. This only makes the calm, composed lady of today seem more interesting than she already is.
Targets ahead.
Life drain. Alright. Flame Djinn. Get that out. I'm just throwing out stuff real quick because I get attacked over that time to read it. So life drain channels a beam at the target enemy, draining HP equal to 150% weapon damage per second for 3 seconds. Living Vines grows deadly plants along a 12-meter path, creates a surface that lasts for 12 seconds, dealing 14 damage per second, and inflicting poison for 10 seconds, vulnerable for 20 seconds, and immobilized for 7 seconds on entering enemies. A Flame Djinn summons a Djinn for 30 seconds. Ranged unit has a fireball ability. When destroyed, rushes towards the closest enemy and explodes, stunning them. Damage scales with summoner's skill power. A Tree of Penance 3. Taunts enemies within 3 meters and inflicts Shaken for 20 seconds. Reflects 60% of damage received. If placed near another tree, they connect with a vine that inflicts Immobilize for 3 seconds on enemies passing through it. Call of the Wild. Cast 3 magic missiles at enemies in a cone, each dealing 30 damage and summoning a Spirit Wolf on impact for 8 seconds. The Spirit Wolf melee unit, when summoned, taunts nearby enemies. Damage scales with summoner's skill power. An Earthquake. Conjures an Earthquake in the target area, dealing 25 damage per second and inflicting Shaken for 20 seconds on enemies within 5 meters. After 6 seconds, the effect ends with a powerful quake that deals 125... I'm not reading the extra damage it does. I guess that's a scaling with her skill power. And inflicts knockdown for 4 seconds on enemies in the area. Status Synergy. Vulnerable. On cast, inflicts knockdown for 4 seconds on enemies with vulnerable. Alright, summon points 2. You just use a summon skill. These usually use up your summon points. Your summon unit's total cost cannot exceed your remaining summon points, displayed in the upper right corner of the skill bar. So I'm guessing Bastard's not going to stick around for now. She seems a little too powerful.
Time for plan B?
Understood. On duty.
They are venturing deeper and deeper every day.
Yeah, spreading across this land like parasites of an old plague. Thank you.
A foe to the Empire, and by extension, your now unexpected ally. Even if I tried to avoid skirmishes, I knew I'd soon find myself in one. Just like you, I suppose.
The elders in our city would call it the signs of the times.
Indeed. Signum temporis. Anyway, I'm glad to be of help. Need to travel back to the North Coast, and officially, you have never seen me around, as I obviously was never here.
Our summons are still here. Alright, let's equip this. Ideally, I put it on her. She should be acting as my tank.
Let's get going.
But she usually is not. And he needs more mana anyway.
Here they are.
Oh yeah.
What do you propose? Yes? I've got this one! Just a little walk.
Alright, not too shabby.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that previous fight, I was a little concerned that maybe... Our encounter barriers indicate a difficult combat ahead. Once you start a battle inside, you will not be able to move out of the area, but allied units can still join the fight. Oh boy. Yeah, I was a little concerned about that last fight. Maybe choosing hard difficulty was a bit much, but it all worked out. Alright, so another aggression ring. So it gives us elemental resist 2%, weapon damage plus 5%, movement speed plus 5%. And some iron, a soul core, and 12 gold. Alright, we'll give this to Malachi. Along with the other one. Alright, let's quick save and see what lies in wait. We got a waypoint. And a healing fountain. I guess we can use that in combat, right?
Let's get going. Cover me. Yes. Let's get started.
Take that!
If we pull back...
What's the plan?
I can't use it during combat.
Time for plan B?
You asked for this.
Oh, behind us too.
I've got this one.
Alright, cool. Came out on top. We got a great sword. Oh, cool. The two-handed weapons also offer a block chance. That's good to know.
Sure, why not?
So that's the main quest. We can go this way. It's probably a dead end with some loot.
Moving fast.
Ooh, Broodmother. A lot of health.
Oh yeah?
What do you propose?
Nice, we took no damage.
Another camp? This wasn't just a random patrol.
They're bringing half the Empire here. Look at all this gear. Yeah, they're definitely not camping.
What are they even doing so far south? I hope they stay away from our city.
Alright, we got a Marauder Cowl. So elemental resist plus 1%, max health plus 8, and max health plus 3%. The elemental resist is a modifier on it. 3 soul cores and 8 gold. Again, she's acting as a tank, so we'll keep kitting her out for right now. A Curse Fire Charm. Mastery plus 1. Immune to burn. Death Nova 1. 4 iron, 5 knowledge fragments, 2 soul cores, and 34 gold. The Death Nova. Enemies killed within 3 meters of the wearer explode, dealing 30 burn damage to enemies in a 3-meter radius, and leaving a burning ground for 2 seconds. It deals 10 burn damage per second. That's pretty cool. Status report. Stage 3 complete. Recon squad advanced inside the ruins, suffered heavy casualties in skirmishes with aggressive fauna and local bandits. Requesting reinforcements.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we will go to the big doors and check on the entrance to the ruins. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.